I did the most random train-related stuff last year. From seeing a movie being filmed in Keighley Station, to carving a Ruston 48 pumpkin, and even riding a train through Sherwood Forest. Kind of. 2025 was truly a jam-packed year, and also, incidentally, ended about 5 months ago. I'm a bit late. In this video, I won't be giving full walkthroughs of galas, events, international travel, museums, the greatest gathering, the railway children, etc. Everything I'm about to talk about, I've literally just chosen to be the most random.
Broad gauge.
Such as meeting Laurie from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels at Doncaster. It was so cool meeting him in real life, and he was so nice. He gave me this card, and he wrote a little message on the back of it. In March, there was some epic multi-track drifting at the Model Railway Show at Woodbank Garden Centre. Great show that year. There was also a drifting narrowboat. In March, I saw Taffy, aka 85, blow out a very neat smoke ring.
Oh my gosh, a smoke ring!
In Madison, Wisconsin, while on holiday, we visited a collection of businesses inhabiting the former Madison West Railway Station. And this is very strange to think about from a European mind, but Madison, the capital of Wisconsin, doesn't have a single passenger rail line. Of course, they do have quite a few freight connections. What once was a Milwaukee Road locomotive depot is now just a single track line operated by the Wisconsin and Southern Railroad. Part of the station is actually a taco place, so we decided to eat there and were able to get a better look at the rolling stock, including an ex-Milwaukee Road EMD E8A in a livery that definitely needed a new coat.
The locomotive is just full of bikes.
On site was also a collection of MTA New York Central and Milwaukee Road coaches. This very boxy observation car is a bar, I think. Moving on, in the city of Dubuque, Iowa, we took a ride on the 4th Street elevator, which is a funicular railway that claims to be the shortest and steepest in the world. And maybe it's the shortest classified specifically as a scenic railway? But steepest? Are you aware that other countries exist? Still, it was really cool to ride on this piece of history, as the US doesn't have many surviving funiculars. The highlight of this experience, though, was seeing 2 deer stood next to the line. Just standing there like Frontierland animatronics. This place is definitely something of a hidden gem. On a later date, on the Worth Valley, riding behind 37075, you see, this is before its failure, I witnessed 41241 satellite multiple line-side fires in the space between the end of Demems Loop and Demems Station. I could talk about it, or I could just play the clip of me in the past, reacting to it.
Oh no! No! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh no! No. Yep.
But about half an hour later, it was mostly sorted out. A week afterwards, it was the 1940s weekend. Utilising D9520, built in 1964, and Vulcan, built in 1957, along with the Worth Valley's classic Mark 1s, which of course were introduced in the 1950s. And to make matters worse, this nameboard has an apostrophe on 1940s. Why? They didn't even fix it for this year's. Why does this keep happening? Who's gonna tell them? Not too long later, in Barcelona, I rode on a Rodalies de Catalunya Class 451. And yeah, they look weird from the outside. But have you ever seen a train interior that looks something like this? But also, they're bi-level, and upstairs looks even stranger.
Why are you like this?
And the seats. You may have noticed how wide this EMU is. That's because we are using Iberian gauge, a type of
Broad gauge.
A bit later in the holiday, we took a train to Portaventura World. And wait, how did I end up in the train's back room? Interestingly, it wasn't a Rodalies de Catalunya train, it was a Renfe Express service. And the unit was a Class 448. As luck would have it, there were just 4 seats left on the entire train, albeit just fold-down ones. Anyways, I'd be interested in your opinion of me doing a theme park related video on this channel, as roller coasters are another one of my interests, and I've never really had a chance to talk about them. But yeah, Portaventura World is a pretty awesome park. Moving on, near where we were staying there was this cafe with a bridge next to it, and on account of that line being a pretty busy corridor, it was quite a good train spotting location. That indeed wasn't everything that happened in Spain, but I think perhaps we should move on. Next up is the Diesel Gala, which was certainly eventful. Rodney gave some Ilkley-esque tones. How did the driver know that I love Ilkley tones? I had a full view of a double-header 37 emergency stop, punctuated by some very panicked-sounding honking. I'll roll the clip. Oddly, they were actually running one steam locomotive during the diesel gala. Let's wait for Rodney to get out of the way and see which one it is. Oh, gee whiz, it's just a Lycidon, the Deltic, whoa! Spewing unhealthy amounts of white smoke. I wonder if this has anything to do with the oil it coughed up a bit earlier. You know, the Class 20 looks really good in front of the Deltic. It aesthetically acts as a sort of Deltic extension. On a later occasion, the demonstration goods train gave me quite a jump scare. Here's some channel lore. At the time of recording, my banner is a screenshot from this video. Ah, yes, Rodney. I should probably address the elephant in the room. Rodney derailed! You see, the Freightliner Class 70 had just arrived, and to the best of my knowledge, the outer line of the Keighley curve was barely able to withstand the Class 70's veritable chunk, meaning that the sleepers and rail chairs became especially weak. So when Rodney came into the siding a bit later... I was there when Rodney derailed. The thing is, I was over chilling with the 70, so I didn't notice. I really thought a bigger deal would be made about it, but they seemed to fix the issue really quite fast. Here is a very random anecdote. I was involved in a model railway stall as part of a culture day at my school. Naturally, I arrived in an inflatable frog costume and then changed to a British Railways driver's cap a bit later on. The rolling stock selection wasn't all that special. Here we have a Hornby 040 pulling an open wagon of Tic Tacs, and also Dwayne the Rock Dragon. I met Pete Waterman, and I also operated a model railway at the MC Bolton Abbey Railway Hunslet Gala. Now, about the TV show being filmed at Keighley Station, this is not a rare occurrence by any means. By my approximations, at least one thing is filmed at Keighley Station each year. On this occasion, it was a new BBC TV show, A Woman of Substance. I'll refrain from showing clips for copyright reasons, but I did film this in real life. You may have noticed that they've covered up the Mind the Gap lettering on the edge of the platform. References to Keighley have also been replaced with Armley. Along with the rolling stock and odd filming decisions, there's a lot to talk about here. Definitely worthy of its own video if anyone's interested in that. The Railway Children was absolutely incredible. This isn't random though. There we go. This sign for a gift shop looks to me like it's AI generated. At the Greatest Gathering, I met Laurie again, this time with his Ruston 48. He signed my LMM branded wagon, and remember how Laurie gave me this card at Doncaster? Well, I gave this one to him. What's up next may just be my funniest clip of the year.
Here's Great Western Railway 4930 Hagley Hall, who also may whistle randomly during this with a very loud whistle indeed. Yeah. Oh! As demonstrated there.
Right, lightning round. Here's a Bachmann S160 with a Bachmann S160. And 16440 with 16440. At the Wensleydale Railway, I saw the Ready Bear. Admire the Q1 without a tender. Discover the original Intercity 250 model. Stick your hand into old Copperknob's Hall. At the Cholsey and Wallingford Railway, there's a Wickham trolley in the parking lot. I went to
Funiculars Railway Centre,
which you would already know if Studio Canal didn't take down my Paddington 2 video. I did cut there a very short but unique demonstration line in the fact that it is
Broad gauge.
I went underneath the 1400 class and also did a bunch of other stuff that I don't really have time to talk about right now. On the M62, I saw this. And what is this? Chomish. At the Lincolnshire Coast Light Railway, which isn't on the coast by the way, I was able to ride behind guest engine Peter Pan, aka Luke from Blue Mountain Mystery. Additionally, shout out to these coaches with doors on only one side. On the same trip, we visited the Sherwood Forest Railway, which doesn't actually go through Sherwood Forest. There's not much I can say about this railway. The section that was open at least was quite short. At my local model railway club, we had a challenge where each junior member could build a module of a model railway. I originally decided not to participate, but changed my mind at the last moment and built a model railway overnight. And hey, I think it turned out pretty good. The ballast hadn't fully dried, so the track did get pulled upwards, but it was still nailed down better than the track at Haworth at the time.
Ha ha, got him.
Take a guess of what I tried to make this macaron look like. It's a Ruston 48. Ah, Halloween. The previous year I carved a 2MT out of a pumpkin, so I decided to continue that in spirit by making a Ruston 48. Does it look like a Ruston 48? Does it look like anything on this world at all? You decide! Vote with your phones now! I got one of these for my birthday. They're reasonably rare and I'd been looking for and wanting one for ages. That's right, I finally got a vegan marshmallow. It was about this time that I really started getting into watercolours, so I'll review some real quick. Good for a first go. Good idea, poor execution. Okay, I really like this one, especially the station building. Just doesn't look right. Probably my worst one. Okay, I think I did a fantastic job here. The colours are off and the wide angle is weird, but still overall okay. Pretty good. That's a weird looking train. I should really stick to more colourful stuff. Nice. One of my more recent ones, which was at the start of the video all along, what a way to wrap it around, wow. If you're wondering how this video took 3 months, that's because I've been working on it on and off at random intervals, with no real schedule. My channel's definitely been looking quite Spartan recently, as I continue to work on my animated series, Rails for Yorkshire Valley. Well, I'm probably going to change the name, actually. Something more like Tales from a Yorkshire Railway. I haven't settled on anything. Let me know what you think. I'm going to try and make another video about this, specifically. Apparently abrupt endings are good for attention.